What is up, my buttery biscuits? Y'all, we're going to be talking about Trisha Paytas as well as Charli D'Amelio today. I just had to refilm that because I said Charli D'Amixio. Honestly, I feel like I talk so fast sometimes that I just get my words all types of jumbled. I do want to get your guys' opinion on something though. How do you guys feel about Trisha Paytas as well as like how do you feel about her podcast? Because I have to keep it real with you guys. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I'm seeing a whole new side of Trisha, and I really do think that she has grown as a person. And this to me, honestly, I've said it time and time again, this just shows you that people can change. Of course, there is this whole side of the internet that's like, oh no, she hasn't changed as a person, she's just covering it up. And I'm like, nah, I really do feel like her having a kid has opened up her eyes. And so many people are like, having a kid is not going to change you that much. And I'm like, that is so not true. I personally went through it, y'all. I was like, I've been friends with my best friend for like 17 years now. And there was a period of time where I was like, this just isn't working out anymore. Like, I feel like everything is about her. She's very self-centered. And every single time that I need something from her, she's just not there, but I'm always there for her. And then say, for example, if I needed to vent about something, talk about something, she always turns it into her. And as soon as she had a kid, y'all, oh my gosh, she's like the most selfless person. And I feel like she is like my number one go-to person to talk to vent to. If I need anybody, she's the first one I call. And I'm like, her having a kid has really changed her into that person, in my personal opinion. But in general, I feel like even not having a kid, people can really change. This is why I feel like, and I always have this opinion, which apparently is like a hot take these days, is if you did something when you were younger, that doesn't form who you are as an adult. I feel like if you bring up something that I did from when I was 17, that's not who I am today. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, Trisha, I feel like is like the living proof of that you can change. Anyways, y'all, let me know what you think about that. But there is one thing that I did want to talk about before jumping into today's topic. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wanted to do a full video about this, but then I was like, okay, I'm a little bit scared because there's like cholos and gangsters involved, and I'm like, let me not open this door. But I really wanted to talk about this because this story is a trip. I don't know if you guys have seen, but Jenny69 was on set of a music video and she got set up to get jumped. And I am so sorry, but I watched her full like stories on Poncho's TikTok, and I was like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad for her, y'all, because basically what had happened in a small nutshell. If you guys want, you guys can head over to his TikTok. He has literally all of her stories on there, or every like recording from her Instagram live. And y'all, it's a lot. Like some of the clips are 7 minutes, some are 5. It's like 5 different parts of it. I have to say I felt really bad for her because basically she was doing a music video with this guy. I want to say it's the guy who sings the song like Lean Like a Cholo. I don't know if you guys know that song where he's like elbows up, side to side. That song, he was doing, or she was doing a music video with him, and y'all, she ended up getting jumped on the set. I felt really bad for her. Like, honestly, I was like, the whole, like the way everything went down, I was like, nah, this is really messed up, honestly. And I do have to say, like, if I'm just keeping it real, I kind of felt a little type of way towards her because me and her used to be like cool, like we followed each other. She had put me on like one of her like vlogs before, not me personally, but like she was like looking at my page and stuff on one of her vlogs, and we had met a couple times in person, and she was like super cool. And then when that whole Morphe drama happened with me, I was calling out Morphe, she unfollowed me from that, I think because she was friends with Louis. And I'm like, I have never said one bad thing about Louis, like literally not one single thing. So she immediately unfollowed me, and we had just like talked the day before, literally. And I was like, okay, girl, I see how it is, you know. But either which way, I still feel really bad for her. I saw that whole situation, I was like, damn. I wanted to do a full video about it, but then I was like, let me not open this can of worms, because I'm like, I don't want all these cholos coming after me, y'all. But anyways, if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and check out his TikTok because he has the full stories about it. And I have to say, it's a trip. Let me know what you think about it though, because I was like, what? Sorry, I know that has nothing to do with Trisha Paytas and Charli D'Amelio. If you guys are interested, we're going to be talking today because Charli D'Amelio was just on the Jay Shetty podcast, Shetty, I believe it is. And she basically was saying it was really a difficult time for her when she was 16 years old, blowing up on social media and getting called out for numerous amounts of things. And then Trisha Paytas was one of those people who were calling her out. So we're going to be talking about that within today's video. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to click the link down below. Head over to my second channel. That's my travel channel with my brother. Go show some love over there. I would really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get into it. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of a summary right here, a few years ago, Charli D'Amelio was getting called out. And you know what? I want to say I may have talked about this on a live video, or maybe I did make a video about it. I don't remember. But I do remember she was getting called out because a chef cooked snails for her, and she like got grossed out about it and was being like over dramatic about it. And then people are all like, hello, people in the world eat snails. This is a thing, escargot, you know? I feel like, and I still feel the same way about this. I'm like, first of all, she's 16 16 years old. You know what I mean? And yes, at the same time too, I understand that she's the one putting herself on social media, on TV, so she's gonna be like putting herself out there for criticism. I get that, but also at the same time too, you don't know how to act at that age. And I want to keep it real with you guys. I feel like sometimes you just get grossed out by things, you know? Say for example, like me, I haven't eaten meat now, and y'all, it's been 6 years and 3 months, and it's so crazy because honestly, even when I had eaten meat before, say for example, if I would go to a steakhouse with my family, my brother likes his steaks like literally still bleeding, and I have to keep it real with you guys. It grosses me out. Like, it really grosses me out. I'm 33 years old and I'm still like, oh, like I get like wheezy. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, that's not a sign of disrespect to anybody in the world. It's not a sign of disrespect to my brother or whoever cooked the food. It's just like some things just gross you out. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you guys have eaten lengua before, like honestly, y'all, I've eaten lengua a few times and I'm like, honestly, I'm like, okay, it tastes fine. But then the thought of it, I just started getting like the heebie-jeebies. Like I started going like, ugh, you know, like I like freak out, you know? So I'm like, I didn't really understand why this did blow up on social media so much. And of course, Trisha Paytas was coming out and talking about it and basically saying that she seems like she's just so privileged. And I'm like, she's a 16-year-old girl who is having snails put in front of her, which she probably has never seen before. You know what's really crazy? I didn't even know that people ate snails until I was probably like 21, 22. You know what I mean? So I'm like, just imagine that if I was 16, like, oh my God, people eat snails. Obviously uneducated on the situation that in like France, it's really popular over there. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really think that it was too much of a sign of disrespect. It's just kind of like, y'all, sometimes things just gross you out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, I want to say it's in the Philippines. I don't know the name of it. It's something with like a bee, maybe? I don't know. But basically they eat like a whole little baby chick inside of an egg. And I had seen this before on 90 Day Fiance, or maybe it was Thailand. I don't know if it's Philippines or Thailand. Y'all, I get confused. But honestly, I saw that and I was like, whoa, okay, that kind of grossed me out a little bit too. So I'm like, I didn't really see, like, I don't know, I didn't take it as too much of a sign of disrespect, but I guess I could understand how some people would take it as a sign of disrespect. Anyways, fast forward to now, she actually went on to the Jay Shetty podcast. You know what's so crazy? I was recently on a flight with him. Well, not recently. This was actually like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago now that I'm thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, his eyes are just as pretty in person. I was like, whoa, his eyes are super pretty. Anyway, she was on the podcast and she was saying during this time, she was like the lowest mental health in her entire life. And I'm sorry, y'all, but when you have 100 million followers on social media, I feel like that has to be very, very like a weight on your shoulders. Like, you have to constantly think about what you say and what you do, because somebody's bound to get pissed off by something. Do you know what I mean? Especially having that many followers. And she had said, like, there was people that were coming at her who are full-grown adults, which obviously now she had said, oh, now they have kids. Obviously this was being in reference to Trisha Paytas, where she was like, just imagine if this was you or your daughter of what you were going through. And Trisha Paytas actually did apologize to her. So I'm going to play a small clip from the Trisha Paytas podcast, Just Trish, to show you guys what she had to say about this.
She was on Jay Shetty's podcast a couple days ago. Yeah, and she said, like, when she hit 100 million followers, that was like the darkest days of her life or something.
Yeah.
Like,
wait, why? Did she explain?
she was just saying...
I saw the clip. I didn't see.
It's just like awkward laughing because I
no.
think she's kind of referencing you.
No!
Like subliminally, she just said like there's a lot of adults who were like really hard on me when I was 16, and now she said now they have kids, and I hope now that they see it. It was
so
a little pointed.
Specific. I feel like I wasn't too bad on Charli. I feel like I was more on Dixie with the snail.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I was too bad because I remember being like, well, Charli's a kid. I remember, this was so long ago, but I do remember specifically saying in a TikTok, like, Charli is like a child. Like, I don't really think bad about her, but maybe she was referencing with Dixie. I don't know, because Dixie I went back and forth for a minute with, which also was weird because she was also just like probably 18. So I so apologize to Charli and Dixie.
As y'all can see from right there, obviously she is more remorseful now, and she does say, oh, you know what, I am really sorry. And I do think her having a child has a lot to do with that, because obviously she's not going to want to see her child get bullied over something like this. Do you know what I mean? And I'm really, really happy that she actually did publicly apologize to her. I would think it would be probably better for her to directly apologize to her. But y'all, I don't know if you guys had seen before, but I didn't even know this, that Charli D'Amelio actually did call Trisha Paytas out singly before. So I'm like, obviously this probably was directed towards her. And I have to say, honestly, I feel like it's very difficult for people to grow up on social media. And in my personal opinion, I do feel like there is a lot of teens on social media, but I do feel like there should be a age limit to it. I think that you should have to be an adult in whatever country you reside in. If it's, you know, some places of the world that's 16, some places of the world that's 18, then I really do feel like that is appropriate. I don't think that certain like ages should be on social media. Like, I don't know, like just say for example, being 16 years old, like y'all, I was so free. Like I didn't have a single care in the world. I was out there living wild because social media wasn't a thing when I was 16. So I could just not imagine like of how hard that would be to be like one day you say something stupid and that sticks with you for life. Like that has to be very daunting on you, you know? So I'm really glad that Trisha Paytas did apologize for this situation, and I do think that she is learning and growing as a person. So make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about it. Oh, also too, I do want to get your thoughts on this. How do you guys feel about, say, for example, if like you just can't help it, like your reaction towards something? Do you guys feel like this is a sign of disrespect towards a chef or towards a specific culture? Because say, for example, like me, do you know one of my things that I just can't help and it just happens is I watch Shane Dawson's podcast and I'm like, yo, I think I have what he has. If I'm at a dinner table and I'm eating and then somebody like snorts, goes like like that, you know, I can't help it. Something overcomes my body and I go like, oh, I freak out like that. Like I literally just like freak out and start shaking. I can't help it. I literally can't help it. So I'm like, wow, is that like a sign of disrespect toward that person? You know what I mean? So I'm like, y'all, please let me know your thoughts on that. If like, what if you just can't help your, you know, natural reaction to something? Do you guys feel like that's a sign of disrespect, or like, what can you do in that situation? You know, like say for example, what if you're at like a barbecue and then somebody brings out like a whole, like, I don't know, like a whole straight up chicken with feathers on it and just starts defeathering it and everything. Like, do you know what I mean? Wouldn't you be like, oh snap, you know? Let me know what you think about that. I know, obviously, I feel like it's a very fine line. It's kind of like, okay, you can't help your reaction, but also at the same time too, maybe go step away. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about that because I really am curious. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.